Okay, welcome back everybody. This is the Gigabyte Dota Masters Grand Final. This is the third and final best of 3 series between LGD and Zenith. They are tied up at one best of 3 series apiece, and this will decide, well, this is the first match in the first of 3 obviously, so this one particular won't decide, but this is the deciding series. Chen though being banned first by LGD again, gods. And the Lycan, it looks like they don't have many different ideas here, and Zenith also banning the Darkseid once again. They hate that guy.
Yeah, and for Zenith, this is great. I mean, their drafts the last 2 games, they were different. I mean, they had some similarities. They wanted the Prophet both games, and as a result, Prophet going to get banned in game number 3, which does leave Enchantress in the pool. The hero LGD's been banned so far, so there's your first deviation. I mean, the last 2 games were both very similar in terms of the bans here. And the picks as well. I mean, Zenith, both games get the Prophet, although game number 2, they didn't have the Invoker as well. It was LGD with the Invoker. But we're going to see what LGD want to go with the first pick. They have got it. And I think the Invoker's not as scary when they don't have the Prophet as well, which is something which they may not even go for the Invoker as a first pick here, LGD. They could maybe go some other route, go for the Queen of Pain, maybe the winner. They really need to, more than anything, mix things up, go for a different style of play here.
I agree. No, the Invoker and the Prophet gangbanging lanes, just jumping there, creating 5v3 situations, or 5v2 situations, which is way too much for LGD to deal with. Also, quick shout out to Zyronga, who did ask for one nicely. So there you go, dude. Shout out to Zyronga. But Queen of Pain, the final ban here. And Zenith, they have come a cropper with the Queen of Pain before, and Chaos Knight again from LGD. And this was actually banned in the last match we casted, but it was actually picked in the first match by LGD. And it worked pretty good. They ran an aggressive trial with it. It worked well, but there's the whole Invoker Prophet combo that we're talking about coming into play. How they were just jumping. They were just outnumbering them, effectively 5v3. Prophet would teleport in, Invoker would drop a Sunstrike, and they just had the firepower to finish off that aggressive trial, even though Zenith themselves did not have a trial that could deal with it 3-on-3. They just outnumbered them and won the fight through that. And they've got the Invoker again. Guys, I think as long as they pick a relatively strong lane, I think the Invoker by himself will be enough to add enough firepower for them to win.
Oh yeah. And look, I mean, they picked up the Shadow Demon, which is a support hero that X-Freedom has been playing left, right, and center throughout this tournament. And the synergy is there. They're going to be probably going for the Exalt build once again. Ice has been preferring that over any other build. And with the Disruption, you're pretty much guaranteed that that Sunstrike will land on someone. And we'll see what they want to pick up to complete their trial here. I'm feeling they may go for the Morphling here. Morphling with the Shadow Demon. You've got a lot of killing potential. You've got some strong lanes as well. And the Sunstrikes will be coming in. Zenith have yet to pull out the Morphling. HY loves to play it. And it fits fairly well here. Although there is some Chain Suns. There is some burst damage coming out from LGD. But it's definitely a possibility here. Otherwise, Zenith may just want to go for a safer option, whether it's a hero like a Windrunner, maybe picking up another support hero, maybe even going for the Enchantress. They're going to go with the Lina, though. So there's your other support hero, the Lina plus Shadow Demon combo. And their last 2 heroes are going to be their solos and carry heroes. Brewmaster's still in the pool. So is the Morphling at the moment. There's so many options for Zenith to use at the moment. And there's one of their heroes they used last game banned out. But when you ban what they used last game, you just open it up, the pool, to the heroes that they actually you banned last game, which are now no longer banned, like the Brewmaster, like maybe the I mean, they've been banning Anti-Mage a lot. I don't quite know what they have in mind with the Anti-Mage ban. It's not something Zenith have used all that much, but we'll see if they maybe go for something else with this last ban here.
I love the Lina Shadow Demon combo. If you don't like somebody, you just hit them with Soul Catcher, and Lina says, goodbye, you're out of this match. Even if they live, they're going to be so low, they cannot participate that much further in the fight. And I feel like, had the Leshrac not have been picked, Zenith probably would have gone for the Leshrac instead of the Lina. They actually ran that before with the Leshrac with the Shadow Demon and the Night Stalker. As we see banned out there, I think it was a smart ban from LGD. There possibly would have been a Night Stalker again from Zenith. Zenith, though, getting rid of the Syllabear, and we saw Sylar playing that so well. In fact, Sylar farming like a madman on that Syllabear, although he did fall behind a little bit, but in the end caught up nicely and got to where he wanted to be. But I do appreciate the fact that they're getting rid of it, because Syllabear is actually a pretty damn good pusher, and when you combine that with the... Wasn't it actually the first game they had the Syllabear in there, and with the Chaos Knight combo? I'm pretty sure,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what they want to go this time around. The Lone Druid will not be an option for them. I feel the Lone Druid almost didn't quite fit into that lamp all that well, because they weren't really being aggressive pushing towers. They were getting kills at bottom lanes, but ultimately they weren't really getting ahead using that Lone Druid, so it's something that will be banned. And again, LGD... worried about the potential Anti-Mage pick. They're going to ban it out again, and this is the 3rd game in a row. They've just used that 5th ban for the Anti-Mage as Morphling gets banned by Zenith, deciding they're not going to go for it. But Brewmaster is still in the pool. Actually, they can't really go for the Brewmaster, which is going to be for one reason, and that's because Ice is the one who plays it, but he's also the one who plays Invoker. So unfortunately, he cannot be on 2 heroes at once. So if we do see them go for the Brewmaster, it'll have to be someone else who steps up to the plate and plays it like HY. HY could play the Brewmaster, but I just feel it's Ice's hero, and it's always Ice who plays the Invoker. It's always been Ice who plays the Brewmaster. So it'd be a slight risk, but it's still something they may decide to do.
But what about Loda, though? I mean, Zenith's mindset seems to be, whatever we have left, give it to Loda, and Loda can just Loda seems to have an infinite pool of heroes he can play. They just seem to hurl anything at him, and he seems to play it okay. So I don't know. Like, Loda's obviously an old hand. Maybe he does have a decent Invoker up his sleeve. So I think it's possible, but then again, you are right. They may actually just decide to go throw him in the Suicide Soul. Although, Invoker solo's safe lane, they've been doing that with Loda doing the safe lane Prophet, so it could be possible. But then again, I don't know much about Loda's history, so he may not actually be. He could be the world's worst Invoker. Second worst Invoker, actually. I'm probably a lot worse than him, but yes. I mean, he could be the worst Invoker in the world for all I know. Morphling, though, the final ban there from Zenith, and the anti-mage ban, I agree, Gods, I don't know where they were going with that. It just doesn't feel like Zenith ever really want to touch it. And Sven! Oh boy, I think this is actually going to be a farming Sven almost, a farming tri-lane Sven. An aggressive tri-lane with Sven as a farmer. I think we've seen them do this once before as well.
I don't see any other way around it. I mean, unless you're playing either Lina as a solo or Shadow Demon as a solo mid-hero, which is possible, but it's very improbable, and I think Sven is going to be in a farming role here, looking to get some fast, maybe Arcane Boots plus Blink Dagger, use that Blink as an initiation, and just be sort of a late-game sort of semi-carry, or even potentially carry hero. With a BKB, you can do a lot of damage in those team fights and stay alive and deal with all those stuns on the Radiant side. I mean, you don't have to worry about those stuns once you have a BKB, so we'll see how Zenith want to lay in this, but it does look like a farming Sven, and it's probably going to be in the hands of HY, I feel.
I think, if I remember correctly, because I swear it's Zenith who did this last time as well, the farming Sven. I think it's pretty sure they're the ones, because we've seen a few Sven tri-lanes in this tournament, but the deal has been, Sven has generally been a roaming support hero, and when he gets behind, well, as you said, Gods, he sucks balls, but when he's that farmer, I'm sure it was Zenith, they crush Face because he got the farm, and then he went and wrecked them, and I'm pretty sure he actually went for, it was either phase boots for positioning, or it was a treads just for the extra health and the attack speed, because of course, as a strength hero, his attack speed is pretty abysmal, and just even getting a couple of extra attacks off with God Strength, well, he kind of crushes faces, so we'll see what goes down though. Windrunner being picked up as well by LGD, so they've got their Suicide Solo, probably in the form of the Windrunner, although they do have, that lineup is flexible, they could do a few things with that. And one more pick here for Zenith. I feel like they do need a Suicide Solo as well. Brewmaster though for LGD, the final pick. I feel that may actually be their mid. And he'll just go for the fast bottle in there, because he can, once he gets that fast bottle, if he ecos for a fast bottle, he can handle that pretty easily against the Invoker. And Brewmother, looking to be their Suicide Solo Gods. Oh, actually, no. She'll probably be a safe lane solo, and they'll have the aggressive tri-lane in the short lane.
Yes, I have to agree with you there. I think that's likely. That's what they've been doing the last two games, and it's worked out well. I think LGD struggle in those tri-lane versus tri-lanes. Even when it's in their side of the map and they've got that creep pool to work with, they haven't really coped with it. It is going to be Loader on the Brood, no surprises there. We'll see if he does go towards top or bottom lane. Right now, the support, Sven, as well as Shadow Demon and Lina are heading bottom, so they're going to look to get up some early wards, maybe behind that tower, look to be aggressive, and it is going to be Loader on the Brood in that safe lane. Who's he going to be up against is the question. It looks like it may be the Windrunner with Brewmaster at mid, and that's going to be a somewhat even lane until Brood starts getting sort of the level 5, level 6, and gets a big Spiderling army.
I feel like Windrunner should be okay. As long as she can get the power shots off, she should be able to at least spam it down a little bit. So I think she'll be okay against, obviously not the best, as the power shot has a limited AoE, but at the same time, there could be worse matchups, although he's currently sitting in mid. Are they actually going to send the Brewmaster, the Thunderclap? If he's spamming Thunderclap, he may actually be better off, and he hasn't gone for the eco build. He's picked up a shield, which would help him quite a bit against the Spiderling harass. Gods, I feel like we might actually see a Brewmaster up in the top.
Yeah, Brewmaster can do decent here with that Stout Shield to deal with the early game harass. And, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's not going to be the worst lineup for him if he can get up a fast bottle and just use that clap to spam down the Spiderlings. So we'll see how they want to do this. And, yeah, Windrunner mid with a mantle isn't going to be going for a battering, so it will be Xiaowei on the solid mid. And I think this is just LGD. They've realized Zenith will put their tri-lane bottom and that they can safely send Brewmaster top in a 1v1 matchup against a Brood, though. So still, Loader has the edge. This is a matchup he should slightly win, although it's not going to be easy for him to push down any early towers, but he should be able to out-farm Brewmaster, can use the Spiderlings to farm in the jungle, and can just generally win that lane.
Oh boy, here we go. So they've got a DD and a pair of stuns. This is a recipe for a first blood if I've seen one, so I'm going to keep an eye on this bottom lane. There is potential for a lot of aggression, although the defensive wards have been thrown, and also one, whoa, when they get that one down there, a very aggressive ward there from Zenith also. Trying to keep an eye on what's going on. And I think what's going to happen is someone's going to skulk around here looking to just try and just sort of skulk and get experience, and they're going to get stunned out of the blue. They're not going to see a Stormbolt coming, get smacked in the face, and get picked off. I really like that ward. We're going to see someone get picked up for sure there, as they're asking for a pause. LGD, alright. Apparently, yeah. I guess there may be switching lines again.
I think they drop frames or something. It seems to, I don't know if it's switching lines. They've done this the last 2 games, in fact. So they'll just pause and then have 2 or 3 players all reconnect. I think players that either don't see animations or they're dropping frames or their computer's just chugging away a bit, so they have to reconnect. So maybe I think they just fully restart Dota 2, which is what actually happens. It happens a bit with the Chinese teams. Their connection just sort of drops out a bit, or sometimes it's their computers, which they just need to restart Dota 2 to sort of refresh everything. But right now, it is going to be Zenith looking to be very aggressive bottom lane. But the positioning from Venom and Leshrac, they're going to stay as far right as possible because the heroes are going to be coming in from the side, from the trees, all through the lane. As long as they're on the right side, the only option is to come through the lane, and they should be able to react and just position themselves so that they win that lane. But right now, Chaos Knight is going to struggle to farm, though. I feel they're just going to they're going to just tell Venom and Leshrac, say, you guys take the last hits, because Chaos Knight Sylar is not going to have an easy time running in and taking any last hits.
Oh, definitely not. And with the power stuns, like, they have more reliable stuns there as well. Oh, actually, no, I suppose they do have Chaos Knight stun, but Sven, if he drops that power stun when they're grouped up, he can really set them up to get picked up. If they get out of position for a second, this is really going to go pear-shaped. LGD really have to watch where they stand, otherwise they're going to get absolutely clobbered by that aggressive lane. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, though, Loader, it'll take him a little bit of time to get going. Actually, where the hell are his webs? Okay, I think they're down, it's just that they're not appearing because of the pause. They must be here somewhere. Yeah, well, actually, this tree's missing left, right, and center. Yeah, there must be webs over here somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's an animation thing with the pause games. But there we go. The last player's going to reconnect in. We'll see if we do get underway right away. And yeah, so far, top lane. I mean, it's going to be Loader at level 1. He's got the Stout Shield of his own. I feel like that's not going to help him all that much against Brewmaster. I mean, sure, Brewmaster would love to trade hits a bit with him, but ultimately it's going to be Loader who just wants to sort of win the lane through right-clicking and getting that soaring up as fast as possible, where Brewmaster needs that bottle to sustain himself in this lane. He may even need to do a bit of bottle crowing to keep refilling that bottle in the top lane. We'll have to keep an eye on bottom lane, though, because that's going to be the trial lane versus trial lane. We're going to see whether or not they can get the initiation they're looking for. They want to sort of lead with the Shadow Demon.
As I've just lost Godz there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hopefully that's not my internet. Please don't let that be my internet. Godz, are you still here, dude? Are you still there, Godz? Oh, crap. Okay, so...
I refuse you.
Well, I'm still watching the game, so it can't be... I must have lost Godz somewhere. Excuse me while I try and get this call back. Anyway, as we're going, I kind of feel that the Stout Shield on Loader here is probably because he thought he was going to be up against Windrunner.
Oh, there you go.
Don't know, it must have just been Skype. It just randomly. I thought I disconnected it for a second, then realised I'm still watching the game, so I can't BC. But no, I feel...
That's what happened the last 2 times. I've got the Skype beeping noise that you've disconnected, that it's the call's disconnected. I'm like, oh, damn it. Triumph's net's playing up, but no, that time it wasn't your net, so all good. Just Skype playing up, but we'll get back to this game anyways. Hopefully no more technical problems.
I feel like the Stout Shield is because... the Stout Shield and Loader is because he thought he'd be up against the Windrunner. And in the end, it was actually the Brewmaster getting rotated up there. And it looks like they've actually backed off. Zenith, they're backing the other way. Oh, they're dropping back just to pull just to block the creep wave back. They've still got vision, so they're not too worried about getting ganked. They're just trying to pull those creep waves back towards their tower. And it looks like another pause. LGD, they're asking.